What's happening, kings and queens? Thanks so much for tuning in. I would love it if you would give me a quick subscribe, share the video to somebody that you think could use this, give me a like, let's roll. Juneteenth commemorates the day that slaves in Texas learned that they were free. June 19th, 1865, 2 entire years after Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, and 2 months after the Civil War ended. I'm a little torn with this because I don't really know how to feel about it. Juneteenth, based on how we were taught in our traditional education system, for lack of better words, we've been missing something. A lot has been missing. A lot is torn out of the history books when we talk about traditional education. And we're often taught about Christopher Columbus and George Washington and Abraham Lincoln and, even George Bush. But we tend to leave out the entire area of slavery where a great majority of this country was built upon, but no one acknowledges that. So I want to ask for forgiveness. I don't even know if I should be asking for it, but forgive me if I don't know quite how to feel about this entire holiday being integrated. I will say this, that I'm happy about it. It took some work to get here, right? I'm just saying that from a high level perspective and how long it took, why did it take you this long to publicly acknowledge how wrong things were and what happened over time? Like, can you imagine working anywhere, your current job that you love, job that you hate, labor intensive, and you're doing this thing day in, day out, day in, day out, but nobody told you that you didn't have to do this work anymore. And they didn't feel that it was important enough to share with you. So you've already been used through and through generations. Imagine like you have a lemon or lime and you're like making some fresh squeezed lemonade or some of your favorite beverage, and you've got it down to like a pulp. There's nothing left, but you're like, I gotta get something else out of it, right? So you're using it all up and there's nothing left. And that's the way that this feels to me, in the way that this happened to our people. So in that manner of being completely used up, I'm just not sure how to feel about all of this. But this is a sensitive area, and I don't think a day off is the answer. It's a step in the right direction for sure. But I think awareness and education integration is really the key. I mean, do you have any idea of how many people are looking forward to this day off, right? Day off for years and years and years to come. There are a lot of people that will be looking forward to and gain this day off for years and years to come, but they have the least bit of identification with what the true meaning is, nor do they care to be the change agent to carry that baton. So I do want to say thank you to the collective voices over time who worked to get this Juneteenth recognized as a national holiday. It's being done. You're finally heard. We're finally heard on a certain level. On June 17th, 2 days ago, at the time of this recording, 2021, President Joe Biden signed in the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act, officially marking 19 June, or June 19th, Juneteenth, as a federal holiday. But I will say that this will probably for a long time be a heavy day for me, because I didn't have to experience it firsthand to be affected by it. So I've sat in slave camps in Zanzibar a few years ago, a place where people would look just like me, were taken and chained up, stacked up on top of each other, sold as property, and worked their entire lives to profit a nation, a country. The ruins are still there today. I toured it, not knowing that, entering this historic underground site, that I feel cold, abandoned souls of my ancestors. A little piece of my heart is still there. Part of my heart still weeps for the injustices. But some of us, this is a day that holds profound weight and profound power. And some of us are free, but still act like we're enslaved because we don't stand tall. We don't walk in the power that we're supposed to. We're still waiting on 40 acres and a mule. But guess what? It's not coming. So how do you observe Juneteenth? And how did you walk in that power that we're talking about? So here are a few things that I think you can do in order to celebrate and bring that integration and education that I talked about earlier. Celebrations, they vary across the nation, and with it being a Texas-oriented, event, knowing that that's where the news had traveled to last, they do things grand. They say everything is bigger in Texas anyway, right? So you can easily make a big party, a big celebration. You can have the black and white people all at a party or barbecue. But what do you do when the fun is over? Because everybody can have fun at a party, right? I think that there are a few ways that everyone can celebrate this. So let's start here. If you know a black person, get to know them on a level of a friendship. Develop that into a friendship. And that friendship will lead to you being able to develop the type of relationship that when you're comfortable enough to be educated and ask the questions that you were probably uncomfortable asking before, right? Find that comfort level, because we're all ignorant on something. If you can have the courage to ask that question, that's a great start. Go to a black museum, tour it. Take your time doing it. Ask questions. Take it all in. Open yourself up to the culture. If you can understand the why, the how doesn't matter. And if we ask before prejudging, that's a great start too. Think about music. What exactly is the song saying that this person listens to that's got all this bass in it, right? There's a lot of lessons in education in rap music, in gospel, and R&B and soul music, and so much more. I've also shared that I've listened to rap music before, and I got the response, oh my gosh, you listened to that as a child growing up? And I'm like, I turned out okay. What you have to do is just make that connection for sure. And speaking of connections, let's connect and cook cultural meals with the black person. It reminds me of the movie The Help. Many don't burn chicken. Get with a black person and learn how to cook what they like and see what the cultural food is all about. And that could be a good teaching moment. Watch a black movie. Malcolm X, Ali, any kind of Harriet is a good one. But watch some of those movies that can integrate and bring direct insight to the culture. You maybe want to go to the other side of town. Maybe not by yourself, but find somebody to go out with and go to that side of town. And you'll find out that everybody's not exactly the way that the news portrays them to be. Because we all know that the truth walks and lies take a flight. They get there very, very fast. So we don't all know how to rap. We can't all jump high. We don't all have rhythm. Right? We can't all sing. We don't all have style. But get to know that side of people. Another thing that you can do is support black-owned businesses. Not just this day, but consistently. Now, I'm not a fan of just supporting black-owned businesses just because it's black-owned. It needs to be quality. Because I wouldn't support a black-owned business if it wasn't quality. I don't do things just because. I do it just because I like it, it needs it, it's quality, right? Donate time, resources, volunteer to the black community, to the people that don't look like you, right? And black people, do the same in exchange. Whenever another ethnic holiday come up that doesn't fall within your parameter, go out and educate yourself too. We can talk about that later, but right now we're talking about black people and Juneteenth and how to make our other brothers and sisters feel safe and secure and educated with us, right? That would be awesome if these things could be implemented. So that being said, that's what I have on Juneteenth. I think it takes awareness, it takes education, it takes integration. And these are just some things that I feel are necessary to make this linkage and this connection. Because without unity, we're not really going anywhere. Right? So I want you to comment below with things that you feel could bring us together to celebrate Juneteenth in an appropriate way, but also share your feelings about Juneteenth, things that you want to see, wish to see, the things that you want to work on, because we can all talk, we can all celebrate the day, we can all have the day off, but what we really, really need is impact, baby.